This is our next problem based on law of definite proportion. What is the mass percent of oxygen in benzoic acid? You are given four options. First we write the formula, molecular formula of benzoic acid, C6H5COH. We represent it elemental wise, C7H6O2. We calculate the molecular mass of the compound, 7 into 12 for carbon, 6 into 1 for hydrogen and 2 into 16 for oxygen, making a total of 122. So we know 122 gram of benzoic acid will contain 2 into 16 gram of oxygen. 122 gram will contain 2 into 16 gram of oxygen. In that case, 100 gram of benzoic acid, that is a mass percent, will contain how much mass of oxygen? And you get the answer 26.23%. Now we will generalize this for future applications. Mass percent of an element is equal to n, number of atoms of the element under concern. Here it is oxygen, its number is 2. Gram atomic mass of the element, it is oxygen, atomic mass 16 here, GAM into 100 by gram molecular mass of the compound, 122, like that. Okay, so you remember this, and there can be 4 different ways of asking question. You may be asked to find, since there are 4 variables, this is a variable, this can be a variable, this can be a variable, this can be a variable from question to question. So they may ask you to find mass percent or number of atoms of a particular element, or to calculate the atomic mass of a particular element, or to identify the element, or to get molecular mass of the compound, or to identify the compound. Okay, there's another way of asking a question. Sometimes they ask the question like this. For example, a particular compound has 20% sulfur. What is the minimum molecular mass of the compound? When they ask minimum molecular mass, they mean, see, this compound is having sulfur. There must be at least one sulfur atom per molecule. You cannot have fractions of sulfur atom. So when they ask minimum molecular mass, they mean the molecular mass of the compound when there is only one sulfur atom in it. Okay, so while you calculate minimum molecular mass, you have to substitute n is equal to 1. Okay, for example, in this particular case, a compound having 20% sulfur, what is the minimum molecular mass? You substitute 20 here, 1 here, GAM sulfur 32 into 100. Then you calculate molecular mass, it will be the minimum molecular mass. Okay, right. Okay, another problem. A hydrated calcium chloride crystal CaCl2xH2O upon complete dehydration lost 24.5% mass. Then the number of water molecule of crystallization, that is X, is your options 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 6. See, listen here. When CaCl2xH2O upon complete dehydration become mere CaCl2, or in the molar mass level, molar mass of CaCl2xH2O would reduce to molar mass of CaCl2 alone. In the question, they will provide the mass of an hydrated sample as well as anhydrous sample. This ratio and the ratio of the values given in the question of masses of the two samples, mass of CaCl2xH2O and mass of CaCl2 given. In what ratio this value become this value? In the same ratio, any sample of this compound would get changed from hydrated to anhydrous. So ratio at the molar mass level and ratio at the mass level for the same substance will be the same. In that case, you can substitute and get the value. For example, to solve this, you substitute mass of calcium chloride 111. Mass of the hydrated sample, it will be 111 plus 18x, because every water molecule contribute 18 to the molecular mass. So 118x would become 111. In the same way, the mass of hydrated sample would become anhydrous sample. But here they have given what percent mass has lost during dehydration. So if we start with 100 gram, the residue would weigh 100 minus the mass lost 24.5. So the value corresponding to 111 here will be 100 minus 24.5, and value corresponding to 111 plus 18x will be 100. These two ratios will be equal. So the only unknown in this particular equation is x, which you can get out from this equation. Cross multiply and isolate x. You get it as 2. Now, as usual, we have to generalize. To calculate number of water molecule of crystallization, what you have to do? Wm divided by Wm plus 18x. Same will be the ratio for W anhydrous by W hydrated. These two values will be provided in the question. You will also be provided the molecular mass of the compound. Then the only unknown will be x, which you can get from that equation. Okay. The next problem is based on multiple proportion. We read the question. In two hydrocarbons, ratio of mass of hydrogen combining with a fixed mass of carbon is 3:2. If the first hydrocarbon is methane, identify the second hydrocarbon. Your options are propane, ethane, pentane, butane. Okay. We start like this. Hydrocarbon CH4. The second hydrocarbon is unknown. For the time being, we write it as CHX. If you find X, it is our answer. Okay. Before proceeding, I have to tell you one thing. If we consider two elements forming two compounds, for example, I take SO2 and SO3. Now take the ratio of masses of oxygen combining with a fixed mass of sulfur, SO2, SO3. In both, mass of sulfur 32. Now masses of oxygen in SO2 again 32, but in SO3 48. So ratio of masses of oxygen combining with a fixed mass of sulfur, which is 32 gram, is 32:48 is equal to 2:3. Now also get the ratio of number of atoms of oxygen combining with a fixed number of sulfur atoms in these compounds. Both the SO2 and SO3 has one sulfur atom only. Now take the ratio of number of oxygen atoms which combine with this fixed number of sulfur, which is 1. Again SO2, SO3. So ratio of number of atoms of oxygen 2:3. Now we find that ratio of masses of oxygen was 2:3. Ratio of number of oxygen atom also 2:3. Means in all such cases, ratio of masses of the second element that combine with the fixed mass of the first element, and ratio of number of atoms of the second element that combines with the fixed number of atoms of the first element will be the same. Ratio of mass of the second element as well as ratio of number of atoms of the second element, both will be the same. To bring further small, ratio of masses, ratio of number. That is the point you have to remember. Now we look here. Hydrocarbon CH4, CHX. Ratio of masses of hydrogen that combines with a fixed mass of carbon, that has given in the question 3:2 given. Ratio of number of atoms of hydrogen that combines with a fixed number of carbon. It is 4:x from our formula. 4:x. 1C in both. 4:x. Formula. From formula. Now we have proved that these two ratios must be the same. So 3/2 is equal to 4/x. 3/2 is equal to 4/x. Therefore x is equal to 8/3. So CHX means CH 8/3 means C3H8. That is, our compound is propane C3H8. Hope you understood this. Okay. Now the next question from multiple proportion. In A3B4, the Person mass of A is 40. Then what is the formula if the Person mass of A is 25? This is also based on the principle two element forming two compound. And here we can straight away apply this equation. If first compound is represented as A1, B1, A1, B1, and second compound as A2, B2, then we can directly apply the equation percent A1 by percent B1 into B1 by A1 is equal to percent A2 by percent B2 into B2 by A2. You have to keep this in memory always. Here first compound 40% A. So 40 by 60. Sum is 100. 40 by 60 into 4 by 3 is equal to 25% A. 25 by 75 into B2 by A2. Simplifying, 2 by 3 into 4 by 3 is equal to 1 by 3 into B by 2. Now A2 by B2 upon simplification is 3 by 8. So the second compound is A3 by 8. So easy. Sometimes based on this data, another way of asking question is, in first compound percent mass of A is this. Then what is the percent mass of A in the second compound? Here both the compounds formula will be given. What I mean, this ratio we know, this ratio we know, this ratio will also be given. Then we have to find these two values. So you can use the same equation. Okay, right. Our next problem. This is based on law of reciprocal proportion, where three elements and three different compounds are involved. And the question is that in AB2 and A2C3, the ratio of masses of B and C combining with a fixed mass of A is 3:2. Then in a compound of B and C, the possible mass ratio of B and C. Okay. Four numerals are given, four ratios are given. We have to select the best. As per the law, the ratio B is to C here, and the real ratio B and C will be related by a whole number. The two ratios will be related by a whole. As per law of reciprocal proportion, the ratio 3:2 and the real mass ratio in the third compound B and C will be related by a whole number. So we can say 3/2 A by B. A by B 3/2. Multiplying one with the n gives you the other. As per the law of reciprocal proportion, the ratio 3/2 and one of this ratio will be related as one is a whole number multiple of the other. Here 3/4, 3/2. 3/4 into 2 is equal to 3/2. So our answer will be D. D is the answer. Okay. So you have to remember this condition, that is this ratio and one of the ratios given here will be related by a whole number. Okay. This problem, it is from law of combining volumes by Gay-Lussac as well as law of Avogadro's law applied together. 6 liter of phosphorus vapor on complete reaction with the 36 liter of hydrogen produces 24 liter of phosphine at the same temperature and pressure. Identify the atomicity of phosphorus 2468. Atomicity means number of atoms per molecule. For example, O3, its atomicity is 3. O2, atomicity 2. Na, atomicity 1, and so on. C, first we write the given data as an equation. 6 liter Px, let the atomicity be x, then we can write 6 liter Px plus 36 liter H2 giving 24 liter PH3. Suppose there are n molecules of a gas at the same T and P. Instead of liter, we can write small n. 6n Px plus 36n H2 giving 24n PH3. Now we can cancel the common n. 6Px plus 36H2 giving 24 PS3, or even we can simplify Px plus 6H2 giving 4 PS3. But during chemical reactions, atoms are neither created or destroyed. So number of each type of atom on both sides of the equation must be the same. Now we equate the number of atoms of phosphorus on both sides. Here it will be 1 into x. On the reactant side 1 into x. Balancing number of phosphorus atom 1 into x is equal to 4 into 1. So 1 into x is equal to 4 into 1. So x is equal to 4. That is phosphorus atomicity is 4 as P4. That finishes that problem. Hereby we completed the theory as well as problems from laws of chemical combination. After this we pass on to the next topic of this chapter. Okay.